Hey out there, this is Gordon with Foxfire Unlimited. Just coming to you, sort of an apology video for not uploading anything after I first started out. Been having some technical problems, and I think this poster pretty much sums it up. But I'm going to make it up to you guys, and over the past couple of months I've been doing a lot of stuff, organizing everything, and I built some pretty big shelves to display all my collection and whatnot. So let me show you those real quick. So there's pretty large shelves with the tables on each one, and etc. and so forth. Basically, I just went to Lowe's, got a whole bunch of lumber, and that's what I ended up with. So what I'm gonna do is actually show you my collection. So let me turn the light on real quick. By the way, this is a new camera, so I'm getting used to that too. Anyway, starting out, regular Nintendo. And if any of you guys want to know how any of these things actually are, let me know. A couple of imports there. There's Dragon Warrior, well, Dragon Quest. That's also Dragon Warrior, or Dragon Quest 1, 3, and of course 4. Missed out on a bid on number 2 by 7 cents, so whenever I actually can get that one, it'll be good. There's American Dragon Warrior 4, Gauntlet 2. Those gyromites actually have the adapter in there to play Japanese games, so that's why I have so many copies of that. This is probably something no one's ever heard about. It's translates to Class or Hierarchy of Murderous Intent. This is a game that everyone hates, but I like. I don't care what people say. It's called Hide Lied. That's actually the special edition version of it. Got my Zeldas there. Part of the problem with why I've been not updating is because the battery for our Zelda died, so I had to send it away and replace the battery, so now we can save. That there is actually a sealed original copy of the original Metroid on the Famicom Disk System. So that's one of my prized possessions there. We've got more and more games. Mega Man 3 was big for me when I was a kid. That pinball has also got the Japanese adapter in it. Snake Rattle and Roll, if you haven't played it, definitely do it. A bunch of Mario that I just have left. This game right there, that Zexes, if you can play it, do it. It's really good. It's made by Hudson Soft. Batman, Castlevania, Chippendale. Alpha and I have been trying to play Chippendale, but we had technical difficulties on that one as well. So, you know, problems abound altogether. And of course there's some, let me take the camera off my hand here. Some more games here. This is my box Super Nintendo. Import Chrono Trigger, then there's the Dragon Quests import. That's backwards for some reason. There we go. Final Fantasy 5, 6, I don't care what people say, it's still 3 in America. That small slim case there is a piano collection. This is Legend of Zelda import. What a lot of people don't know is that game there is actually, the real name is Legend of Zelda Triforce of the Gods. So we got Link to the Past, they know it as Triforce of the Gods. So interesting little bit of trivia there for you. And there's this game here, Peacekeepers, is also it's a series of 3 that Jalico put out with Rival Turf, Peacekeepers, and the other one's escaping me right now. It's Tough Enough, that's what it is. Anyway, so there's the original Secret of Mana right there, Seiken Densetsu, also known in America as the Final Fantasy Adventure. Then there's Secret of Mana 2, Secret of Mana 3, Soul Blazer, which is Illusion of Gaia 1, actually. Then Terranigma is the last one. There's those, couple of N64. A lot of my stuff was stolen, so I haven't, you know, I'm in the middle of replacing a bunch of stuff. So there's no real good way to store and display N64. And half of my collection is actually out on loan right now too. So then we got some Dreamcast here. Armada is a superb game. I highly suggest everyone play it. And big Capcom fighting game and SNK fighting game fan. And off we go to Sega CD. And then we go into some imports here. Dark Wizard, very good game. Original Lunar on the Mega CD. Then my biggest collection of imports is on the Saturn. That's Castlevania, Sept, Dragon Force, one of the best games ever made. And they actually put out a discount version of Dragon Force. And then Dragon Force 2. There's a lot of glare, so sorry about that. Anyway, then Eve is a very good series of games. Just if you can understand Japanese, I highly suggest you play them. Gun Griffin, which was a series that Working Design sort of picked up on after a while. The remake of Lunar. Then, of course, there's the remake of Lunar on the Game Gear. It's called Magic School or Walking School, however you want to translate it. Again, more Marvel fighting games, etc. Capcom. Panzer Dragoon 2 fighting game. Radiant Silvergun. I picked this game up. It was brand new. The GameStop it was actually Software Etc. at the time. I paid $2.97 for that, and it was 40% off clearance, so I got it for like $1.50. There's Sakura Taisen, and number 2, Shining Wisdom, one of the hardest games I personally have ever played. There's Shin Shinobi Den. It's Gundam. I got that because it was cheap. This game here is actually, let me show you the cover to this game. The manual, if I can actually, the manual to this game is quite possibly one of the coolest covers you'll ever see. That's just badass. So, there's that. Put that away real quick. Then Terra Fantasia, it's a RPG made by Sega. Ultraman. That I got as an example of everything to not do in a game. If you've never heard of this game, look it up. It is one of the absolute worst games ever put out. And I mean worse as in like not good, but just that game should not exist. This is actually a game, Hudson Soft, but it's the Matrix, but it was actually put out before the Matrix. So, kind of cool there. X-Men vs. Street Fighter, one of the reasons why the Sega Saturn is my favorite system of all time. There's the discount version of Lunar on the PlayStation, discount version of Lunar 2 on the PlayStation, and then my only Dreamcast import is Oh My Goddess Trivia. Then we move down. It's my Neo Geo Pocket collection, my transfer cable. Dark Arms is very good. Gals Fighters, if you want to see Kyo and Yori and Drag. Match of the Millennium and Card Fighters is basically stole my summer when I was 17. My pitiful DS collection. I have a flash cart, so I pretty much only have, stuff that I really want. Most of the 3DS games I got this past Christmas at Best Buy. They had them on sale for $5 for one day only sales. Then I got, Game Boy Advance games without a case, regular Game Boy games without a case, etc. This I just recently picked up for Alpha because he's a big Resident Evil fan. So, anyway, so there's that. Got a couple of box systems there, 2 Nintendos, 1 Super Nintendo, Super Scope, Menacer, 32X, Saturn. That's an Odyssey 300 down there, and then a couple of arcade sticks, and then that's a Master System there, power pad. That right down there is an original Atari Heavy Sixer, 1978. I got that when I was 3, so that was lots of fun. Then we got Super Nintendo. Again, most of my collection was stolen. This game here is an import. This is what Japanese Super Famicom games look like. That's a game called Magical Poppin', and it's actually kind of fun if you can find it on emulator. So, Mortal Kombat, Rival Turf, like I was saying, Peacekeepers, etc., and so forth, it's the same series. UN Squadron, if you haven't played it, definitely do it. It's one of the few games that's actually better on the home console than it is in the arcade. Also, Super Ninja Boy is just a really strange RPG. You should check it out if you can find it on emulator and whatnot. Then a couple of Genesis games. That unmarked one there is actually the Fantastic Dizzy, Sonic and Knuckles, Super Highlight. Again, I like the Highlight series. I don't care what people say. Then my piddly Sega Master System collection. Elysia Dragoon and Cyborg Justice are excellent Sega games. Definitely pick those up. Those, in my opinion, are must-owns. 32X, what I have in the boxes anyway. And then we start on the Sega CD, which is one of my great loves in life. That and the Saturn. There's the American version of Dark Wizard, Final Fight CD. Ground Zero Texas, which you can see Bill Alpha playing. It's Lunar. There's actually 7 different discs for Lunar. This is actually the most common one. You can tell because it has the picture doesn't go the whole way to the center of the disc. So if you see one of those, you know you're getting the common ones. Whereas if you find ones that it's in my Sega CD, it figures. So anyway, but there's different actual pictures, and if you see one that goes the whole way to the center of the disc, then you know it's one of the more rarer ones. Mega Race is a superb racing game. I played it mostly on the computer. I found it on the Sega CD, and I just had to have it. Puffle Mail, another Working Designs game. Sewer Shark, I don't care what people say. I love that game. Brain Dead 13, hilarious. Bug. Burning Rangers is a great game. They need to make another one. Let's see. And sorry about the wobbly camera. Like I said, I'm still trying to get used to it. Dark Savior. This is a second copy of Dark Savior there. Doom, Dragon Force, Guardian Heroes, MVP right there. Dragon Force, Guardian Heroes. Hearst Adventure is also hilarious. You should try it. Magic Knight Ray Earth, there's actually 3 different copies of that disc as well, one for each of the girls. So you get one of Hikaru, one of Umi, and one of Fu. So there's all 3 discs of that. Panzer Dragoon, obviously must have for any Saturn collection. They're just great. Shining Wisdom. Alpha is borrowing my other copy of Shining Wisdom, that's why there's a hole there. Virtua Fighter Kids, Virtual Highlight, I don't care, like I said, I like it. And we got my piddly GameCube collection. Final Fantasy, Wind Waker, which is one of my favorite Zeldas actually. One of the only sports games I have, Madden. I was a huge Phantasy Star Online player. I love it. I cannot get enough of it. I still play on the Shithack server. And Faux Moral all the way. And I have 2 PSPs, both of them are modded, so this pretty much the only stuff I have here is stuff that I wanted to own, or stuff that I picked up just dirt cheap. So, there's the one shelf. Moving over to the other shelf now. A couple of things on top there. Then I'll show you over on the other side too, with Super Game Boy. The Dazzle's one of my 2 capture cards, and then a couple of box things. So there's that. And then moving on, we have the Atari collection. Pretty big words, so I'm just going to pan real quick the whole way through them. Not much to say. You know, it's Atari. So, if anyone has any questions about any specific game, let me know, and I'll throw up a review or something. You know, I'll throw a couple of quick words somewhere or another. So, there's that. Moving on. PlayStation, And there's a lot of glare. Let me actually turn the light out here. There we go, that fixed a little bit of it. So, Arc the Lad, Beyond the Beyond, some decent stuff. I did not like Chrono Cross. I don't know why. I just didn't like it. Legend of Mana is very good. Lunar. Silver Star Story is not as good as the original. Lunar 2 Complete is actually pretty good. Parappa the Rapper. Suikoden I'm currently playing through again on one of my PSPs. Thousand Arms is also a very good game. Definitely want to play that one if you guys haven't. And we got PlayStation 2. Alpha's been getting me into the Guilty Gear because I don't really play Street Fighter much anymore, but he plays the Guilty Gear just because, you know, he's a metalhead, so. Couple of old games. Alien Trilogy is really good. I like it just because it's a fun, it's just a fun game to throw in and screw around with. 3D Dot Game Heroes, actually, it can be hard or very easy depending on if you're using a walkthrough or not. Borderlands, can't wait for number 2. Dark Souls is a phenomenal game. It's, in my opinion, it's what Zelda could be. Like, it's... I don't really have words. It's an experience. It's not a game. I do have Demon Souls, but it's on loan right now. Skyrim I got in a trade. Final Fantasy, both of them I got in a trade. It's not that I want to own them, I just kind of do. That game right there, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, is the reason why I don't buy anything Capcom anymore at all, ever. I could do a whole Alpha Omega Sin rant video on that one if you guys really wanted. Original Xbox, I was a big Dead or Alive fan. Dead or Alive Ultimate is the best in my opinion. And Extreme Beach Volleyball, the first one, was actually really good. It's a game called Super Spike Volleyball on the original Nintendo, just with, you know, pretty graphics and custom soundtrack. It's a good game just to throw in after a long day of work. Number 2, however, just completely sucks. I do have the collector's edition of Halo, the big helmet's out in my living room. Phantasy Star Universe is the reason why I bought a Xbox 360, but it's kind of disappointing because it just wasn't the same. That I have some 3DO and CDI games in there just because it's somewhere to put them. And we're moving on to my PC, what I actually do own. Alice is a superb game. Play it, definitely play it. I should note, I played Lineage 2 for 6.5 years. I was a temple knight named Verthandi, and yeah, that's 6.5 years I will never get back at all. In Aeon, I was a chanter named Freeman. I was an Asmodean. Original box California games for the 2600, and then we have some 3DO games, and this is going to be interesting to try and get them because the 3DO games are just ridiculously huge. Let me give you an example real quick. This is a regular Xbox game. Look at that. That's insane. It's thicker too. It's just they're too big. They did it to try and catch people's eye, but it just ended up being annoying. Killing Time is an excellent first-person shooter for its time. It's actually sort of aged somewhat well. The Need for Speed on the 3DO is the best version. It actually has movies in between and everything, you know, telling you how to drive and telling you about the cars, how things work. So it's pretty good. Again, Sewer Shark, I don't care. This game's awesome. play it. It's great. Slayer's a fun first-person shooter that's set in the Dungeons and Dragons world. And we got a couple of small little games down there. My Oh My Goddess manga collection's the only manga I own. Then a couple of CDI games, and then the CDI is actually right over there being guarded by the Tonberry. So, and then obviously DVDs and Blu-rays. So anyway, that's pretty much the collection. Beatles Rock Band, I guess I should note that too. Hope you guys had fun, and I do have a solo Let's Play coming soon, and I may have hinted at it earlier about something specific that is in my system, and yeah, so I'll see you guys later.